Yeah, I got my ULA Ohm packed. I'm in the driveway. It's about 1:30. I'm waiting for Wandering Fool, Kenny Ahern, to get here. He might get here about 2:30. We're shooting up to the North Shore. Gonna head up to Crosby, Manitou area and spend the night there because we're getting up kind of late in the dark. And we'll get out there and looking forward to it. And tomorrow, fall colors, yeah, man! Woo! Fall! Looking like about an hour of daylight left. Wandering Fool is in there picking up our food there at Culver's as we look through my dirty windshield. I figured tonight, since we're gonna walk in a few miles in the dark, maybe we'll just tote in a pot roast sandwich from Culver's, which I've never had. A little horseradish on it. And it was kind of cool. I don't know how I feel about saying this, but there was a guy named Darren in there. Guy had long blonde hair, dreadlocks, looking at me. I was looking at him. His wife looked at me, I looked at her. They didn't do anything else, did their order, and then about 5 minutes later he came by and said, "Hey Shug, how's it going, man? You guys going out?" I said, "Yeah, we are." And it's always cool. This is my second Shug encounter in Culver's. Guess this is where my people hang. All right, then. Feeling good. Looking forward to a little bit of a night hike. Here comes Wandering Fool with the food. Hey man, you got my food?
Culver's!
2 bags of Culver's, yeah. Wisconsin boys love Culver's. We are here, we're getting packed. There's Wandering Fool with his pack on his back, with his pack on his back. I ain't got no pack on my back, but I'm gonna have a heart attack if I eat that whole Culver's sandwich quickly. I might eat it so fast that I get sickly. That's the end of my rhyme. It's walking the trail in time. Coming on down the Yellow Birch Trail, heading down toward the Manitou River here in the night walk. We've been having a pleasant little walk, going along, chatting. No other cars in the parking lot, just us. And there's Mr. Bright Lights behind me. There's Mr. Bright Lights in front of you. Alrighty, got the War Bonnet Eldorado hung up, and I'm using what I use is my trekking pole in one hand, the Tenza trekking trees, and I have that staked out. Really just wanted to bring this out and play with it again, but I can also sort of be hanging by my friend fairly close, Wandering Fool, with the fire pit right between us, but we will not have a fire tonight. Bada boom! Yeah, well, good morning, world. Got me a nice hefty little bag of Medagliadoro Instant Espresso here. And I'm drinking it all in one shot. So I could be super awake. To lead my friend, Wandering Fool, to our next site later. Half of mine just to hang out here for a good while. Barely raining, just, you know, little pitter patter here and there this morning. Nice and comforting under the tarp. It's cool, not cold. Can hear the Manitou River down that way. It's sassy. This is really hard to try to converse with you with no coffee in me. Watching the hillbilly pod, waiting for that sound of the water going. And there got myself a full purdy boil coming my way. I could lay here and I could hear Wandering Fool over there snoring. Oh, he's up now. Hello, Kenny. You know, I realized
I haven't slept in my hammock other than a couple of naps out in my nut hut. Really since I took my week-long canoe trip, solo canoe trip, back in late June. Didn't camp at all this summer. I didn't want to. I was gonna, wait and do a video and just go, it was hot and I don't really like summer camping, and to be honest, I was just enjoying being home, tending the garden, hanging with Meg, doing family and just summer stuff. And I'll say it this way, like I was kind of talking on a podcast. When you're a YouTuber, like me, Shug, of the third person, you end up backpacking a lot. And some of the reason that I go more than I wouldn't if I was not someone that films myself is because you feel like you gotta put content out, because if I don't go for a while, people start, they'll come to my last video or something and go, hey, when you getting out there again? What's the matter? I hope you're feeling okay. We miss you. Then the sort of, because what I hate about myself is I'm a people pleaser at heart. I want the world to be happy. So, then you make yourself go on a trip, and sometimes I'll take a trip going, all right, feel like I'm doing this just to make a little movie. But I wanted to wait until I wanted to go backpacking. And with fall coming and the colors up here changing in Minnesota, I wanted to. But I didn't want to go solo. I do too much of that. Reached out to old Wandering Fool. He was up for it, so baby. Come on, water. Let's go, man. Wandering Fool described it really well just now. He came back from his morning wee-wee. And he said, it's moist. And that's what it feels out. It's moist. Moist. That sounds weird coming out of my mouth right now. Moist. Hey, I am the most beautiful guy in the world. What I'm having this morning for breakfast is the Packet Gourmet Good Day Sunshine. And I mean that to all of you. And this is like a super oatmeal. It's just got all kind of stuff in it. I'd read it all to you right now, but I don't have my glasses on. But there's hemp hearts in there. That one I always remember. And when was the last time you had a hemp heart? I bet it's been a while. And if you're eating hemp hearts all the time and you're sitting out there in the world and I'm here and you're going, Shug, I have hemp hearts every day. Well, then I envy you. You're living a good life if you have hemp hearts that much. Oh, come to my lips, Medaglia d'Oro. It's a strong one. I'm drinking coffee and having Pop-Tarts in my hammock. For years. Could a bear creep up on me? Yes. But I'm more frightened of the red squirrel. You got to make your own personal decisions out here in the backwoods of how you're going to live your life. And enjoy your breakfast. And then my Pop-Tarts, brown sugar cinnamon, which are always good.
Yeah, I kind of like just sitting here not feeling rushed.
Me too.
I kind of like that. Maybe it'll stop raining in a bit. You don't have to tear down in the rain.
I think it's going to do this for a while. Just this little on and off wet thing. Good Day Sunshine Bowl is fantastic. That is a hefty bowl of oatmeal. Like goodness, with just a great quantity of hemp hearts. I was going to say health hearts, but I think it's the same thing.
I like that tape job somebody did on that seat. Very effective. Did not wiggle. And the little platform, pretty cool. Oh yeah, the old backwoods Donecker with lid. Close it up. Keep it dry for Wandering Fool.
One thing I was wondering with these tends a trekking tree, which is hooked to the tree, right? My question was, can I take the hammock off of it with the tarp still up? And will that hold everything up? And it does. So I took the hammock off, and there's what we got, and I'm still able to work under the tarp. And my boom stakes held, and I was glad because this is kind of some rocky and soft soil. No, just a wink wonk. Oh. Wink wonk. Woo, buddy! So, who are you a fan of?
Gene Kelly.
Yeah, we heard enough. I'm filming in the drizzle. I've gotta take a whizzle. Diddly 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 da. You've got a big pack on your back. Yeah, so do I. All right, we kind of drove north, kind of came up to a different part of the trail. Just taking a little different route down to the campsite we're going to, and I walked this, I think last year or the year before, and I just remember it being pretty easy saunter, because we kind of, you know, me and Wandering Fool like to sit around and visit in the morning and not rush it. And I get tired of, you know, when I'm solo, I feel like I got this agenda, but you know, when you're with an old friend, and I mean old, but not as old as me, just kind of want to enjoy the day and enjoy the fall colors. Speaking of which, wow. Yeah, from that orange to that green, man, that's sassy. We're walking along. We're doing way more talking than hiking, aren't we, a little bit?
We are.
And we like it. We like it. You know, every hike can have its own feel and its own tone and its own pace. And I'll tell you, the two of us are kind of looking forward to getting to camp, hooking up the hammocks and just sort of hanging out in them, like kind of like we did last year on the North Country Trail. It just works for these two. It may not work for you. Works for these two. At least today, in this time, in this end of September, it's working. There's a lot going on in that tree right there. Just stopped here to make an adjustment. I kind of leaned my poles on this tree, and it's like, man, that is really something right there with the Spanish moss or whatever that is. We don't see that a lot up here.
What is it?
That is the Amanita. And I have never seen, here's my hand. And there's that mushroom. That is huge. And then there's these ones popping up here. Beautiful. Oh, it's a fun time with Fungi here at Fungi Central, down here at these campsites. I think we got a little lobster mushroom right here. What do you think, Kenny? Not bad.
It'll do.
Actually, we're at a multi-group site, and on the Spear Hiking Trail, some of these campsites are called multi-group. And they're just bigger campsites, and the deal is nowadays you have to share sites. So on these, and I was here last year, a year before, because today we just kind of wanted to walk and talk. I don't know, we did 6 miles. It was really nice coming down here for water. Easy, beautiful. You know, you get to walk and you get to really be by a really cool river. Tonight's dinner is the Packet Gourmet Market Budanesca. Wonderful meal, and it's fun to say Budanesca. What you got in that bag right there? Oh, that's service. My dreams have come true. Yeah. Pretty out here this morning. This old man needs some brew. And by brew, I mean coffee. And you need to grab some coffee too, unless it's late at night. Then you just do what feels right. The Frosted Banana Pop-Tart.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And?
Here, taste it. The Pop-Tart. A viewer suggested the banana Pop-Tart to me, and I wouldn't want it every time, all the time, like I like the peanut butter Pop-Tarts, but it's nice to roll it through. You know, the brown sugar cinnamon yesterday, banana today. Not bad, right?
Better than I would have expected.
Me too. Not like banana bread.
No,
More like banana cake if you've ever had banana cake. And if you haven't had banana cake,
I haven't.
my friend Turk makes a banana cake and sent me some. Really good. Mm-mm. A beautiful fall morning. Part of the reason we came was just to kind of just like be in fall and just hang out and visit. And I didn't report last night, but my puttanesca, market pasta puttanesca, was delicious last night. Really hit the spot. And after me Pop-Tarts, I'm going to have some Packet Gourmet West Memphis grits. I'm not sponsored by Packet Gourmet. They don't pay me. Food's important on the trail. I just like their meals. They're probably my #1 go-to. That's why I say Packet Gourmet. Plus, I just like saying Packet Gourmet. Say it. It's an interesting word coming out of your mouth. Packet Gourmet. And anytime you say gourmet, you feel better about yourself. Your self-esteem goes up a little bit. I had a gourmet meal last night. There's the Donaker. There's us.
Packing up the old cook kit here. Good trip. We got a lot of visiting in and got to see some fall colors and got to camp here where there's some nice pine needles on the ground. Got what I wanted out of it. So that's real good. Just a nice little jaunt. Like I was in the mood to revisit the woods, took a break from it for the summer, and being back out here and seeing the fall colors, it done me a world of good. It's exactly what I wanted. Once in a while when you do YouTube, and you've been at it a long time like me, since 2007, you got to take a little break from it to kind of reappreciate it. Appreciate all y'all. Woo, buddy, all secure in Sector 7. Boom! Glad I got that done. Yeah, we're strolling on out of here. Back up to the Jeep. And Wandering Fool has always asked me already this morning, said, guess what I'm thinking about? And I think the same thing I'm thinking about. Culvers. So it's a good time to be out in the woods. What do you think, Wandering Fool? It's good to be out here, wasn't it?
It was.
And the best part was just hanging out with an old circus friend and just catching up.
Absolutely.
And I'll leave it on that. Woo, buddy! Gave me a head rush. Alrighty, back at the Jeep here. Look at ULAville. So we're hiking along, running into this woman coming up behind us, day hiking. Her name was Lynn, right? Yeah. Lynn. And we walked out with her and we've just had the longest conversation and one of the nicest sort of human encounters I've had with someone that I don't know, that we talked with. She was a Minnesota State Fair fan, lives in Colorado, grew up around here. It was deep, it was real. I think it's one of the reasons we were meant to be out here, was to have that conversation. But I would just say this, I did a lot more of the conversation than Wandering Fool. And I liked when he said, I was the silent performer, he was the talker. Can you tell? But you agree, it was a really nice moment, wasn't it?
It was good. It was a nice encounter.
So sometimes the little gifts you get on the trail are not the ones you think you're gonna get. Woo, buddy!
All right, good deal. That's fine.